I was sick and tired of saying all these things I was gonna do, but never did. If I said I was gonna clean my room, never did. If I said I was gonna make a website for my business, never did. If I said I was gonna stop wasting my time and be productive, never did. But one idea changed all of that. And once I learned and used this idea, I finally became the person who did what they said they was gonna do. If I say I'm going to read an entire book and take notes on it, by the end of this week, I will. If I say I'm going to create something like a blog or a workbook or a YouTube video, I will. If I say I'm going to learn how to do a pull-up or skateboard or even how to juggle, I will. And how? Well, that's what this entire video is all about. If you're the type of person who always says they want to do things, but they never get around to doing it, then stick around, because in this video, I'm going to show you how to actually do what you say you're going to do. What changed me from somebody who said they were going to do things but never did it to the person I am now, where if I say I'm going to do it, it gets done. Easy. A weekly review. I learned about weekly reviews 2 years ago, and ever since I learned about them and have used them, I have never gone a week without doing a review, because it is that powerful in making sure I get done everything I say I'm going to get done. Now, how do weekly reviews work? Well, first, it holds you accountable, and that's one of the biggest things that stops us from actually getting things done, because we always say we're going to do it, but we never look over our shoulder to see whether or not we've done it. A weekly review stops all of that, because it forces you to look over your shoulder and make sure you did it. It's like when a parent tells the kid, hey, you need to wash these dishes. I'm going to come back and check to see you did it. They hold that kid accountable. So now the kid knows, oh, I need to wash these dishes, because if I don't, I'm going to get in trouble, because they're actually going to check. The big problem with us is we say all these things we're going to do, but we never check to see if we do that. And the weekly review changes all of that, because now every single week you're going to be checking to see if you did that thing or not. And now here's what happens. Once you get this routine, I'm going to explain how to have routine later on, but once you start getting into this weekly routine where you know once every week you're going to have this routine, now you become that kid where it's like, oh, I have to do this, because if I don't, then I know somebody's going to check over to see if I did it or not. And I want to make sure that I don't get in trouble, so I'm going to go ahead and do it. And that's literally what happened to me. When I started doing weekly reviews, like in the first month, I'm going to show you later on what I'm talking about, but in the first month, I literally did not do anything. But I was still doing the weekly reviews. And what happened was, once every week, I had to look at the fact that I was setting these goals that I wanted to do, and I was not working on them. I had to look at my week and realize I was the reason my life was not changing. And that hurt. I did not like having to open up my laptop and type in, I did not finish all my goals for the week, and why, and then explain why I didn't. And so I had to look back over the week and realize I spent most of my time watching TV, smoking, hanging with friends, skateboarding, and not working on my goals, the things I want to do, the things that actually matter to me. When you don't hold yourself accountable, when you don't look over your week, it is easy for you to hide under excuses. Oh, I didn't have time, I couldn't get this done. Oh, I really wanted to get this done, but this came up and that came up. You can say all these excuses, but when you have a weekly review, your excuses are gone. Because you're being forced to look back over your week and recognize you actually did have the time. You could have done it. You chose not to do it because you want to spend time having fun, watching TV, playing the game, being on your phone, and not sitting down and focusing on the things that truly matter to you. And that was something I had to deal with every single week when I started this weekly review, and it did not feel good. I started my weekly review 2 years ago, July 2021. And I'm going to show you, like, an entire month I went by, and I was not completing any of my goals. I got to a point where I told myself, you know what? I'm sick and tired of coming to these weekly reviews and writing all these bad things because I'm not doing what I should be doing. I got sick and tired of it, so I told myself, you know what? I'm going to have the best week. And when Sunday comes, I want to wake up in the morning excited to go to my weekly review. And once you start weekly reviews, you might follow that same path where for an entire month, you'll show up for the session and nothing will happen. And all you're going to be writing down is how you're not doing your goals, you're wasting your week, nothing's happening. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing, because then you reach this point like me where you're like, okay, well, I know the weekly review is coming up. I know I'm going to have to look over my shoulder to see the work I didn't do. Why not just get this stuff done? Because I don't want to feel bad anymore. I want to feel proud, and I want to see that I'm making progress. And that is when you'll start to switch, and you'll start consistently getting the things done that you say you're going to do. Now, how do we get your weekly review set up? It's not hard, it's very simple, it's very easy. So the first step in having your weekly review is to pick a time and day you're going to do it. If you want to do it once every Monday, cool. Every Friday, cool. Every Sunday, cool. I don't care. Just pick a day and a time. Now the second step is you gotta have no more than three goals you want to complete throughout the week. So you need to have this prior to doing your weekly review. If you don't have your 3 goals set, there's no point in reviewing the week, because what are you reviewing, honey? You're not reviewing anything. So you want to get 3 goals set. If you want to learn 2 new healthy recipes, boom, you got a goal. If you want to go to the gym 3 times, boom, you got a goal. If you want to complete a website for your business, boom, you got a goal. If you want to create a YouTube video, boom, you got a goal. You feel me? So just make sure you have no more than 3 goals. If you only have 2, that's better. Only 1, that's best. And now the last part of this weekly review is to ask these really simple questions. And you don't have to spend like all day on it. I really only spend about 10 minutes to do my weekly review. Those 10 minutes set me up for the most success I've ever had. If I don't do the weekly review, I'm telling you, all my progress should plummet, because I will not continue showing up for my goals. But because I do this weekly review, I do. Alright, so here are the questions that form your weekly review. The first question is, did you complete all of your weekly goals? Why or why not? Question 2, how satisfied are you with your week? Rank it from 1 to 10. 1 being lowest, 10 being the highest. And now, why do you choose that number? This question is what really fired me up, because for a long time when I first started the weekly reviews, I was giving myself 3s and 4s and 2s, and that sucked. And I told myself, you know what, Faith, your goal is to get an 8 or above every week. And to get an 8 or above, that means you have been on your grind. You got all of your goals done. If not all, then at least 2.5 of your goals done. You were focused, you were productive, you did not waste time. Like, that is what 8 and above signifies. I normally do get that, and that's why I get so much work done, because every week the bar for that 8 is high. So I have to be on my grind. I gotta be productive. I gotta stay focused, and I gotta get my weekly goals done. I highly suggest that you have that 8 and above bar high, so that you're forced to go for excellence, and every week you'll start noticing all the progress you're making. And obviously this is all subjective, but just make sure you're being honest with yourself. If you didn't get an 8, don't give yourself an 8. If you got a 5, give yourself a 5. If you feel like you did a 1, give yourself a 1. Now, question number 3 is really simple. It's a yes or no question. Do you feel closer to achieving your ultimate goal? Now, to answer this question, you gotta know what is the biggest goal you want to achieve right now. And now just ask yourself, do you feel closer to it? This is another big question that I wanted to answer yes to, and I said no to it a lot, and it hurt, because saying no to that question meant I spent an entire week not doing what I should have been doing to get closer to my ultimate goal. Big emphasis on this question, because it has the power to change how focused you are throughout the week. Because who wants to say no to that question? No one. Because if you say no, that means you are the reason you're holding yourself back. Nobody else. It's you. And that sucks. That's a feeling I don't like to have, and I'm pretty sure you don't like to have a feeling like that either. So that's another good question for your weekly review. Question number 4 is, what can you do better next week? I'm all about improvement, and if we aren't trying to get better every week or even every day, then what's the point? So this question is really good, and keeping you aware of what you're doing throughout the week, and then looking back over your week and reflecting on, okay, well, what moments or did I not do my best? Did I fall off? Did I slack? And then it gives you an opportunity to say, okay, well, what can I do next week to do better? You feel me? So this is a really good question to continuously improve every single week. And the last question, number 5, is, what 3 good things came from this week? I always love to end on a good note, because it increases our well-being, and it makes us more aware of the good things around us, especially in the world that constantly talks about the bad. Now, that is the gist of weekly review. And if you can incorporate this into your week, I promise you, you will notice a big change, because now you're holding yourself accountable. And accountability changes the game for everyone. So get started on that weekly review and let me know how it goes. And remember, take action, stay consistent, make your goals happen. I will see you later.